I think you might have figured out, you might have ascertained heretofore that I am fascinated by Erika Kirk. Fascinated. You see, my dear friend, in my adult life, having been a mass unit prosecutor in Florida, and having been around some of the craziest people, not only in my regular life, but in entertainment and radio and stand-up and all of that sort of stuff, but in the criminal justice system as well, I've always been fascinated by what makes people weird and how sometimes certain labels don't really apply. I know people are want to call her a psychopath, a sociopath, but she's not. She's not smart enough. She doesn't. You don't understand. She's not smart enough. She has feelings and she's not glib, and believe me, whether it's the hair differential, whether it's the DSM-5, whatever particular criteria you want to employ, she is not a psycho or a sociopath. She's different. She's a hybrid. She's a sui generis. She's this incredible thing, my friend. She's a persona built from nothing. My dear friend, I don't know where to start. I stand before you not to, I thought somebody said, not to bury a widow, but to examine. This is like bury Caesar. It's a wrong, it was a bad, it didn't work, so forget that. But I'm here just to examine this profound and uncomfortable truth that has been, I guess, unfolding in plain sight since September of 2025. What if I told you that Erika Kirk, the woman now steering Turning Point USA as CEO and chairwoman, what if I told you she doesn't really exist? Not in the literal flesh and blood sense that we see on stage or in headlines, but in the deeper, the more damning sense. The Erika Kirk we've been sold, the carefully polished and burnished life story from prom queen or whatever it is to beauty pageant winner to devoted businesswoman and ministry leader and perhaps CIA operative and Fort Huachuca denizen and actress in industrials on EMPs. I mean, what if I told you that she was never real to begin with? That she was manufactured. She was rewritten and rebranded out of thin air, and in that fabrication lies a warning about what happens when narcissism drives a movement that was never meant to be about one person's spotlight. Let's start at the beginning of the official narrative, shall we? The one that appears on her website, in interviews, and in the glossy profiles rushed out after Charlie Kirk's dispatch. We're told Erika Lane Frantzve was born in Ohio in 1988. Parents divorced, raised in Scottsdale, Arizona. High school standout at Notre Dame Prep. A basketball, a volleyball, sportsmanship awards. I mean, prom queen energy, the all-American girl who then competed in pageants. Actually recruited. Please come. We need you. We need your beauty. We need your style. We need your panache. We must win. Take one for the team. Do it for your state. Do it for everyone. She wins Miss Arizona USA in 2012 on her 23rd birthday. Represents the state and Miss USA. Brief stint as an NCAA basketball player at Regis University. Then the pivot. Political science at Arizona State. A Juris Master's in American Legal Studies from Liberty University. Now pursuing a doctorate in biblical studies. Okay. Throw in modeling gigs from New York to China, and acting and casting, director work, a a reality TV appearance on Summer House in 2019. The nonprofit Everyday Heroes Like You, launched back in 2006. The podcast Midweek Rise Up, the faith-based clothing line Proclaim 365, and the daily Bible ministry Bible in 365. Finally, the fairy tale. She meets Charlie in 2019, marries in 2021, 2 beautiful children, the perfect Ephesians 5 traditional wife, and after the tragedy in Utah, she steps seamlessly into the CEO role at TPUSA, vowing to carry the torch. Oh, it's a compelling script, isn't it? Prom queen. I keep saying prom queen. I don't know why. Was she a prom queen? Throw it in. Prom queen. To pageant crown, to power suit. The self-made Christian entrepreneur who had it all. Like Bogey and Bacall. Who had it all before she even met Charlie. But here's the problem. Here's the rub. And it's a growing one, being laid bare by voices like the inimitable, the ineffable, our own Candace Owens. In her recent docuseries, almost none of it holds up under scrutiny, without revision. The story has quietly changed over time. Details have been softened, emphasized, or outright altered to fit the narrative of the moment. Take the upbringing, okay? Public bios and interviews have long painted Erika as raised largely by a single mother after the divorce. The resilient girl who overcame and built an empire on faith and grit. Owens has documented point by point where that simply isn't accurate. See court records from the parents' divorce and family photos and timelines show Kent Frantzve remains very much involved. Erika's father appears in collages and family events and family records in ways that contradict the single mom raised me framing. Remember that one? Even birthdays don't line up cleanly in public filings. Owens has gone further, floating documented inconsistencies that raise questions about biological ties, suggesting that the official Laurie and Kent story may not be the full origin tale at all. And this isn't fringe speculation anymore. It's backed by public records. Public records Candace Owens has highlighted. And the family narrative? Well, it appears to have been curated, edited for inspirational effect. And the pageant chapter? Same pattern. Early profiles emphasize the all-American athletic girl. See, notice the image, the narrative. The all-American girl who tried pageants once and triumphed. Later accounts, especially post-2021, layer in modeling in China and acting and casting director credits. And a multi-dimensional philanthropist and social entrepreneur, quote unquote, who was already a millionaire entrepreneur before Charlie. Yet, Candace Owens points to direct contradictions in how Erika has described her entry into pageants and her pre-TPUSA life. The nonprofit launched at 18, the reality TV stint, the real estate agent role in New York City added in 2025 bios. These elements shift in prominence depending on the audience. And one year it's the basketball star and Bible ministry builder. The next, it's the global model turned CEO. The core identity isn't fixed. It's fluid. It's protean. It transmogrifies. It's reshaped to serve the current chapter. And now the businesswoman empire. Proclaim 365 clothing. Bible in 365 ministry. Noble on paper. But they emerged alongside her rising profile with Charlie. The timeline of successful businesses and, I'm doing the air quotes, Juris Masters. It sounds impressive until you cross-reference. The clothing line is faith-based streetwear made in the USA. The ministry delivers daily scriptures. Respectable? Sure, yes. The pre-existing millionaire empire that some early supporter posts claim, well, the details have been massaged. What we're left with is not a consistent life arc, but a collage, a smattering, a pastiche of aspirational elements assembled into a persona. And this is where we move from factual inconsistencies into the psychological territory. And I stress, this is armchair analysis, kiddos, not a clinical diagnosis. But the pattern fits narcissistic traits far more clearly than outright psychopathy. You see, a psychopath might coldly calculate a false identity for gain, knowing full well that it's a lie, with no emotional attachment whatsoever. They manipulate without remorse. Why? Because empathy is absent. Narcissism is different. It's the construction of a grandiose false self, because the real one, the real self, the real individual feels insufficient. And the narcissist doesn't just lie. She often comes to believe the revised story. She needs the admiration, the spotlight, the narrative of destiny. See, Candace Owens herself has said something chilling in her series. And I paraphrase. What alarms me, she said about Erika, isn't so much the fact that she lies, but it's also the fact that I don't know that she's aware that she's lying. That is textbook narcissistic self-deception. The persona becomes so real to her that questioning it threatens the entire identity. Look at the behaviors since September of 2025. Okay? Charlie's assassinated at a campus event. And within days, Erika is live from TPUSA headquarters, pledging the mission will be, quote, stronger and bolder and louder. Immediate recovery. She pushes to view the body against to view the body against advice. Kisses him goodbye. Publicly forgives the shooter at a 90,000 person memorial attended by President Trump. Powerful imagery. Powerful. But then come the leaked audio clips. Her giggling with staff weeks later about merch sales and merchandise and event success. And the decision to skip the alternative Super Bowl halftime show. The same show her own organization staged. The sparkly suits, the lame, the pyrotechnics at America Fest. That drew eye rolls, and for good reason. The office redecorations that sparked controversy and conspiracy chatter about removing wedding photos. And the reported millions flowing into TPUSA under her watch. And the simultaneous internal purge, firings, leaks to outsiders, ideological clashes, staff questioning the narrative around Charlie's death itself. Oh, dear friend, this isn't the steady hand preserving a legacy. No. This is a woman who has stepped into the ultimate spotlight. CEO, the head, the grand poobah of an organization her husband built from nothing. And it appears to treat it as her next reinvention. And the prom queen or whatever, to pageant, to power narrative, whatever her story is, it didn't stop. It simply upgraded to widow warrior CEO. And the same pattern, rewrite, rebrand, seek the applause. Narcissism craves that external validation to prop up the fragile core. Psychopathy wouldn't need the emotional performance of grief or the faith branding. It would be colder, more strategic. And here the emotion feels genuine to her. Because, my dear friend, because in her mind, she is the story. She is the legacy now. And that brings us to what amounts to the devastating question at the heart, at the basis of all of this, the gravamen, so to speak. Does she even realize she's destroying TPUSA and Charlie's legacy in the process? Does she really get it? The evidence suggests the answer is no. Or maybe she doesn't care. And that blindness is the most dangerous part. Internal sources describe an organization fracturing, leaks, firings of staff who question decisions, mistrust, ideological drift. Young women aren't flocking to the convert the Gen Z girls vision as hoped. Not at all. In fact, donors and chapters are watching the drama very carefully. The Candace Owens feud, the cease and desist letters, the endless headlines about grief style instead of mission. You see, Charlie built TPUSA to mobilize young people for faith and family and freedom on campus. And under the new regime, the focus has shifted to, in essence, Erika's personal brand. It's all Erika. The faith tour, the clothing drops. And mark my words, don't be surprised if you see clothing line and makeup line. Think I'm kidding? Remember I said that. Remember that. Don't be surprised. Remember the clothing drops, the pyrotechnic events? The organization that once was a movement is starting to feel like a vehicle for one woman's next chapter. Guess who that is? And what can we believe anymore? Anything? The faith testimony? The commitment to traditional roles that she publicly champions? What about the promise to honor Charlie's prove me wrong spirit? When the foundational story, the origin, the upbringing, the path, keeps shifting, nothing is solid. We're left with a persona, not a person. A constructed identity that served its purpose until tragedy handed her the ultimate stage. And in classic, narcissistic fashion, she may truly believe she's saving the legacy while objectively eroding it. You see, friends, dear friends, this isn't about piling on a grieving widow. I'm tired of that. You know that trope doesn't work anymore. It's about protecting something bigger. Charlie Kirk's work touched millions because it was authentic, it was real, it was legitimate, and they felt it. It was unpolished, unburnished, unedited, and focused outward. If we allow a manufactured persona to subsume and consume and destroy that mission, rewriting not just her past but the organization's future, we lose the very thing that made TPUSA matter. Why are we even concerned about it? Don't they care about it? No, because they're in on the deal too. Can you blame them? Because without Charlie, there's nothing there. We, those who care, must demand transparency. We must separate the movement from the myth. Because, my friend, if Erika Kirk's entire public self was built from thin air, then what exactly are we following now? The woman on stage may look real, may look authentic, may look genuine. The titles, the crowns, the ministry, the storyline, they're all there. But the life story, the consistent thread from Scottsdale prom queen, or I keep saying prom queen. Was she even a prom queen? I don't even know. I just keep saying that. From, you know what I mean. Doesn't matter. To Miss Arizona, to billionaire-ready businesswoman, to flawless successor, it was never there. It was assembled, it was edited and sold. And unless we confront that illusion, then Charlie's true legacy risks becoming the next casualty of a persona that never truly existed in the first place. I thank you for that. What do you think, dear friends? Are we being too hard? Or are we not being hard enough? What do you say? What do you think? I've got some questions for you to ask. I would love if you would weigh in and intune and provide your version of this. Please like the video, subscribe to our noble channel. Also, make sure, by the way, you like the video, and I think I said that, and that you hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. Thank you, my friends. And now comment as you see fit.